Good morning, Florida lacrosse fans. It's Friday. Thanks God it's Friday, October 7th. Florida Lacrosse News, Lee Roggenberg, your host. Welcome to Morning Coffee. And we'll be back to probably the normal Tuesday, Thursday schedule next week in the off season. But boy, we're already into October. And that means I've got to start actually working on doing my networking, calling around coaches, see what's going on, who I should be looking for, get people prepared for the questionnaire that'll go out in January for the preseason previews and information that I can be using. So welcome to the show. Let's not forget our morning ritual here. Black rifle today. Always dark. Never any difference. Always dark. Okay. First of all, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Like the videos, please. Contact us for advertising and marketing opportunities. We're welcoming aboard the legendary sports group, Dave Cottle, Chris Robinson. They're going to be advertising the Eye of the Hurricane event on January 14th and 15th in Stewart. You'll see the ads up pretty shortly. We're working on some others that we hope to close very soon, and I think you'll be very surprised at some of the names we come up with. So, don't be late. Don't wait. Come and talk to us, and we'll talk about how we can help your business grow. First of all, quick thanks, Caden Harshberger, for doing his submission. I kind of had a little fun with that on Tuesday, and Caden noticed it and immediately sent it in. So he's in the queue. I think we've got 4 or 5 ahead of him. So probably right around Monday or so, you probably should be seeing Caden's. We have a number of the girls' submissions that are sitting there too. We got in Parker John of Jupiter. He's also committed. And, we'll kind of catch up with that on that. I went and took a look at Inside Lacrosse's database because some are showing commitments in there that I've not seen yet on our Twitter feed anywhere. But first of all, yesterday, Benjamin Boys 2024, Carter Smith is committed to Providence. New head coach there, Bobby Benson. Former Johns Hopkins University assistant coach, and also University of Maryland last year, their national championship team. National Prospects has a couple of openings this weekend. Their showcase, I think it's in the St. Pete area, but you can go ahead and check them out and see if you want to have a last minute showcase. From what I've seen, all the Florida schools are basically listed there. Okay, so from the database, and again, if these are not correct, please, send me a notice and Lee at floridalacrossenews.com. Excuse me, and I will certainly update that for you. Lake Island Prep 2024, Owen Lennox committed to Rutgers. Pinecrest 2023, Nash, I assume this is Jaralem to Tufts. Winter Park goalie Paul Pilgrim, this is a big one, 2023, commit to Flagler College. Great get for Flagler. Former Pinecrest player Ethan Rubenstein, who I used to cover in the day, went out for a couple of years of prep school. He's committed to Colgate. University School 2023, Ethan Schlam to Haverford. Plant 2023, Nate Thomas to Swarthmore. On the girls' side, Kings Academy 2024, Lucy Daly committed to Drexel. Bishop Moore Girls 2024, Catherine Herrero is committed to Berry. So that's 8 more names. So hopefully all of you will do your recruit submission questionnaires. Homepage at the top, submit a commitment. Click it on, answer the questions, upload a couple of pictures, no club uniform, please. And you get your own article on our website. Certainly worth 5 minutes of your time. And just want to congratulate all of you. Again, plenty of it. This seems to be a record year in Florida for Division I commits at the boys and the girls. But again, remember, Division II, Division III, NAIA, MCLA. If you've been recruited and you're going to play in college, I don't care what article, we will publish them all. And just playing in college is a blessing. It's a privilege. And I don't want you to think any less of any of the choices you make as far as how we regard them when it comes to content and covering your story. Excuse me again. Okay, tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow, Florida Atlantic and Weber are meeting up at Babson Park. Terry Foy of Inside Lacrosse is out with his early preseason top 20 in Division I men. I took a look at it, with the exception of the obvious snub of the great Hobart Statesman. Terry did a pretty good job with it. Certainly don't have any problems with it at this point of the year. And I always like to give Inside Lacrosse a shout out. Have they kind of cut back on the high school coverage? Yeah. But still, it's always great to have such a large presence. They've been at it for over 20 years. Maybe the National Hall of Fame in lacrosse, the USA Lacrosse Hall of Fame, could maybe look at, I believe Dan Carpenter was the person who started the magazine and spent many years at it. I think it would be a very worthy addition to the Hall of Fame. If you're listening up there in Maryland, this is, contributors come in all shapes and sizes. It's not just a player or a coach or a referee or an administrator. There are some people, this is not a sport that's had an awful lot of dedicated media coverage in this country and its history. And it would be really nice. And I think it would be it would say something very good to those out here who do that work to have someone honored in that Hall of Fame. I noticed in a tweet, Pat Spencer, the former Tewaaraton River winner from Loyola, is in Golden State Warrior camp. I've heard that he has a shot at making the roster. You think about it, a Tewaaraton winner and an NBA player, that's quite the accomplishment. Obviously, Jared Bernhardt making the Atlanta Falcons, great accomplishment too. And just, again, one of those things just shows you that being a dedicated one sport athlete isn't a necessity in this sport whatsoever. Also came across the fun little note about National Coaches Day. Kind of snuck up on me. I didn't see it announced until I started to seeing the congratulations on the Twitter feeds. I guess threads. Maybe I should just say threads permanently instead of feeds. And just kind of looking and seeing, Mindy McCoy at USF dressed her coaching staff up in a Star Wars Jedi outfits. Have to admit, I've never watched a Star Wars movie, so I'm not the best to comment on the reality of the costumes. But again, coaches obviously deserve their own day, but it does bring up a kind of an issue. Should we have a National Referees Day? Should we have a National Bloggers and Lacrosse Journalists Day? I'm kind of feeling a little left out, frankly. I think that, we should have our own day. We could pair it up with another day. It doesn't have to be a dedicated day to ourselves. Those who saw my tweet on this yesterday suggested maybe Oktoberfest or maybe even National Donut Day. But that might be more in tune to the referees, for those who remember the NHL spat with Don Koharski years ago. But, I'd even settle for maybe National Tequila Day. I could see that. So keep us journalists and bloggers in your memories too when it comes to coming up with a celebration day. There's 365 days, and there's no reason why one of them can't be shared with us. So let's think. I'm not asking for a Hallmark card, by the way. Please, they have enough holiday cards already. So keep us in mind. A little off the beaten path here. I was those who saw the last morning coffee know I kind of tore into the critics of how we handled the hurricane and decisions that were made, and came across the little blurb that the Pine Island Bridge is already restored for use in a temporary basis. 3 days after the hurricane had hit, that bridge was back up and running. And if you don't understand the importance of that, understand that you can't get supplies easily to those who were stuck there and do an easy rescue and search mission if you don't have road capability to get there. It's one thing to shuttle boats back and forth. They tend to be limited in how much you can bring across. It's not like you could bring a truck across loaded up with water and food and all the rest of the goods that those who were trapped there would need in order to start their process back to normal. So, again, for those of you who criticized, get lost, get a life, because that's just great. And I can see us doing more and more quicker and quicker. I think the last counts we're down to about 200,000 without power. Remember, this is only a week ago, and we were well over 2 million. Great job, guys. Great job, first responders. Great job to everyone who's pushing forward. And that also reminds me that at a number of the high school football games that are going on, I've seen drives advertised for supplies, water, diapers, everything that you could possibly think of that someone in this situation needs. Canned goods. If you're going to a game tonight, check to see if they're collecting. And just, if you can, just go to the store, go grab a couple of things. Maybe there's 2-for-1 sales. You can piggyback on those, and let's all chip in when we can. I mentioned James Foot's brother. I'll have the GoFundMe up later today for that. We're going to continue to try to do 1 to 2 of the commitments each day. I kind of like doing one on the site because it gives a chance for that particular person to be highlighted more. If I start putting 2 or 3 in a day, they start to cycle through. And I've noticed that when I put them is kind of important too, because when we get towards the end of the school day, that seems to be when people start to kick in and take a look at the website in greater detail again. So if you haven't seen yours up yet, it's coming. If you're in the queue, don't worry. We're going to get to it. We want to make sure you get as maximum amount of views and reads on it as you can. So keep sending them in. Please do so, because believe me, the Lacrosse community wants to read your story. Okay. I don't think I mentioned it in the preamble, but follow us on Twitter at Florida LX, on Facebook at FLA LAX NEWS. You can take a look at Instagram. Won't see much there from us. If you're interested, by the way, if you're interested in getting in touch, maybe helping out a little bit, if you're young out there and you want a resume addition for helping out with us in one way or another, please get in touch with us for that. Always remember, grow the game, respect the game, and honor the game. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday morning at 8:30 on this channel. And so long from the Sunshine State.